Hello everyone. Wanted to give you an update on these WHITIN shoes that I've had now for 5.5 weeks. I believe I got them May 1st on a Saturday, and let's see, June 5th would have been 5 weeks. Today's June 10th, so about 5.5 weeks. Like I said, I guess June 12th or so would be 6 weeks of owning them. So, what's my report so far? So far, guys, I love them. That's all I really have to, there's a lot more to say, but that's the summary of it, really. You can see, let's see, well, what do we start with? These are my casual shoes that I wear around most of the time. These are super easy to slip on, which I love. I really don't have to untie them ever to get them on. These are not so easy to get on. These you really have to untie to get them on. And while I'm at it, let me show you guys a trick that may not know this about shoes, or shoelaces, okay? Since we're on it. You got to tie them a specific way to get the bow correctly right. You got to tie them first one way and then the other way when you do the loop. So let me explain. This way I'm going to go left side underneath the right, so the right's on top, left's underneath this way, and then the left's going to go up through there. Okay, now I'm going to cross it like that. Now, this time, make the loop from the right side, the left's going to go on top of the right. So before the left went under, now the left's going over. And now when I pull it through, you get nice, the loops come out nice sideways like this. If you don't do that, let's say I go, what I used to do is just right over, the right's on top of left, like that, and then again, oh, did I do that right? Oops, right on top of left. I guess I'm goofy there, but let's see. See how that doesn't come out? You can try, but when you start walking around, it'll start doing this thing on you. So, if you ever wondered how sneakers get their shoes correctly, or get these loops to be sort of sideways, you got to cross them one way, and then when you fold the loops, you got to do it the opposite. So whether you go right over left and then left over right or left over right, anyway, you'll figure that out. Give it a shot if you're interested in having your loops sideways like this. It's a nice little detail. What else? So let's see. So for 5 weeks I've had these. I've been walking around in them. In the beginning there was definitely a little bit of tiredness in the feet, or you know, if I walk long distances on concrete, I can feel it in the tendons, sort of in the balls of my feet, get tired. And the plantar fasciitis that I had before has mostly gone away completely, at least in the heel. I don't have any pain in that when I wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning. I still have to be a little tender on my feet when I wake up. For some reason the balls of my feet, the sort of tendons in this area of my feet just seem to, I don't know if they're tight, they just have to warm up, but it just kind of hurts when I first wake up. Anyway, but that does seem to be improving a little bit with using these shoes. I have now run in these shoes 3 times. So before I get to that, real quick, let me show you. So these have almost been all that I've worn for the last 6 weeks, though there's been a little exception. I wore these old running shoes here, these old Asics that I had, so you can see the drop and all that, and the tight toe box. I wore these while I was outside sanding and staining and varnishing a end table that I've been working on. Got that all finished up, and so these are basically ready to go to Goodwill. And I ran in these for the first 2 runs I had since owning these, because I knew that my feet weren't probably adjusted enough to start running in those. These were my old another pair of running shoes I had for trail running. I liked them. I washed them since then. They used to be really much worse than these as far as their dustiness. Another tip here for people: if you're going to wash your shoes, I highly recommend doing it by hand in the sink. Just put the plug in the sink and use just a tiny bit of laundry detergent so that it doesn't, otherwise it'll stink like laundry detergent after a while. It's just, there's too much. But yeah, I fill them up, wash them out by hand, rinse them out a couple times, let them dry, and they come out really good. I saw someone else had a review of this particular shoe that they had worn for only 2 months, and they had already got the glue was peeling off here and was starting to break. But they had said they had washed them, I think, several times in the washing machine with hot water. I really don't recommend that with any shoes, especially hot water, probably any water really. But these, definitely the glue might start to come up, but I've had no problem whatsoever. Now again, he may be wearing just these shoes only for 2 months, and I'm wearing a combination of those 3 pairs. Let me get these back out of the way. So I'm wearing just these now. I've run in these now 3 times since owning them. Today, just now before this, I took my shower just from coming back from a run. Was my 3rd run in them and just felt fantastic. First run was a little tough. That was probably 2.5 weeks ago, something like that, 2 weeks ago. Definitely felt it, you know, it was a little harder on my feet. I think that's all. Don't remember if there was any tiredness in my legs afterwards, maybe a little bit. But the second time I ran in them, they felt really good. There wasn't really any pain, and there really wasn't surprisingly much tiredness in my legs. Now I tend to be already somewhat mindful when I run, so I kind of like to pay attention to my feet and where they're going and how they feel. And so these really, to me, they're just great. There's a small price to pay. Every now and then you hit a hard rock. It's a little jagged. I was gonna say it's almost. I wouldn't say I love it. It's not pleasurable, but it's a small price to pay for everything else you get out of them, just for how good they run. Today when I ran in them, I think I just felt younger and fresher than I have in years. Just really was able to let loose and run faster. It wasn't just jogging. I was actually running quite a bit. I also do kind of spins and twirls and stuff, and sideways runs and stuff to make it interesting and to strengthen all the leg muscles. What else? But these make it especially easy to run in. They really were just a joy to run in. And I was shocked when I was done running today. I ran hard. And within about 50 yards of the walking afterwards, the post-run walk, I think I felt like as if I hadn't run it at all. I was refreshed. I wasn't breathing hard. I was all shocked. Like, wow. Usually I walk all the way home, which is probably a quarter of a mile, which is at least 400 yards. I don't know, much farther. And I'm usually quite tired after a run. So someone else had once reviewed the barefoot shoes and said that they didn't feel like they needed to stretch as much before and after running with them. And maybe that's just psychological, psychosomatic. I think there's a lot to that. So maybe just hearing that message has made me not, suddenly think I don't need to stretch and all that. Maybe it's just mental, but I definitely felt that after the run. I just feel good. My legs don't feel like I really need to walk. I don't have that feeling like often when I used to run, I definitely felt like, oh, I'm going to be stiff later tonight if I don't, go for a walk and kind of get the blood back out of the muscles. So I really just highly recommend them. I've gotten a pair of these for my brother and another pair for my uncle, and a couple pairs that look like this for my mother, and a pair for my sister-in-law. So you could say I've gone a little bit crazy with them. Really, I think they're a good thing. So that's my five week review. Hopefully everything continues to go well with them. Very pleased with the price and quality. You can see the wear. There's just almost no wear whatsoever on them so far. I've played basketball in both of these pairs of shoes. Just took my basketball out to the court, and surprisingly felt really good in them. Really agile, running around. I feel almost better at dribbling and everything than I ever have. Don't know if that's just the shoes, just getting older, whatever. But yeah, surprised that they didn't really hurt my feet. Again, I'm pretty mindful of my movements. You have to be more mindful of your jumps and how you land and even how you run. But I think that all works out for the better. I'd rather be doing that than just sort of not mindlessly jumping and landing, and that's how you get all that jarring impact on your knees and your ankles and hips and all that stuff. So I think the fact that you can feel the landing more makes your whole takeoff and landing and the whole motion is you pay more attention to how it goes. Sorry, I keep scratching myself. I know this is mental stuff. I guess it has nothing to do with anything. But anyway, blah blah blah. Hope you guys like this review. These shoes have been really good to me. Hope you guys, or if you're interested in getting some, I hope you try them out yourself. I think you'll really be pleased with them. Yeah, look at that wear pattern. Nothing so far. Of course, again, I mostly only wear these on the trails for running and for walking on the trails. That's why they're so dusty. The trails around here, it's a specific kind of very light dust. So these are mostly for my trails. I've worn these on the trails and got them almost as dusty as these, and haven't washed them at all. The dust is just, by walking on concrete, the dust is just kind of, I don't know, fluffed off them or something, poofed off of them. I don't think I've had these that dusty yet. Probably got them a little dusty, but not that dusty. But still, they're looking almost brand new at this point. So that's with quite a bit of walking, and I ride my bike quite a bit. So they're holding up well, for me at least, holding up very well. And like I said, these fit extremely well for just slipping on. These don't slip on quite as easy. You have to take the Velcro off, then they can slip on. And this is a little bit tight in the front. And these don't slip on at all. You really have to get them open to get your foot in. But once they're on, they're very comfortable. And I guess that's all I have to say. I've probably talked your ear off by now. So thank you all for listening. I hope you got something out of this. And maybe we'll review again at 3 months or 6 months, something like that. Okay, take care everybody. Bye-bye.